Hey folks, JB here. Today we're going to learn the exact guitar part for Say God Sufficeth as it appears on Badasht Volume 1. We're going to put some easy versions on this channel as well, but I wanted to focus today on the real guitar part from the recording, just in case anybody out there wants to learn it and the way you're used to hearing it. I would call it an intermediate guitar lesson. There's a lot of little tricky things in there. It's a little more complex than I actually thought it was. And all of these songs are kind of like that. So if you are more of a beginning player, I encourage you to go back and do my little mini course called Beginner No More, which is also linked on this channel. And there's a lot of important little lessons in there and stuff as far as my whole approach to guitar. But if you're coming in as somebody who already plays, then this will be a lot of fun to play. I never get tired of playing these parts. They're a lot of fun, and I've thought for a long time that there should be a lesson online. So let's just dive in. This song's in the key of G. We're going to play the version of G that does not use your first finger, okay? So it's going to be your second finger, third finger, and your little finger, fourth finger, in this configuration right here. So there's a lot of reasons why I like to play G this way, but in this song you really do need to play it this way. So just trust me, play this version of G, and that's how the song starts. Another thing that you need to know is that I'm going to keep a kind of bouncy right hand. So sometimes you won't really hear me connecting with the strings a lot, but you'll see my hand bouncing like this because that kind of perpetual motion is what gives the song its rhythmic feel, right? So that's it for the preamble, and there's 3 parts to this song. So let's start with part 1. That's the first part. So let's go through it in granular detail. Here we go. We start with the G, we hit it twice, but with the little bounces in between, like this. And then we're gonna hit an A minor 7. A minor 7 is just like a regular A minor, but with your third finger taken out so that the G string rings open. That's your A minor 7. But first let's talk about this G. We're going to do... You hear that little upstroke right before it goes to the A minor 7? There's a lot of those little details in here. Tons of them. And we're going to try to identify all of them just in case they're important to you. I think that's kind of what makes a cool guitar part, is all the little details, but so pardon me if there's too much of that. But we're going to do that little upstroke, which is going to be convenient because our hand is already moving. So, okay, that little upstroke is real nice. And when we hit the A minor 7, if you want it to sound extra clean, kind of flatten your hand out for half a second to mute all the strings except for this one, the 5th string. Every other string's gonna disappear for a second. Listen for it. See how everything kind of went mute except for that note? You'll hear a lot of that in these parts where it goes to a new chord and it sort of like wipes the slate clean. There's no notes ringing over between the 2 chords, and then you introduce all the notes. So I'll show you what we do on the A minor 7 now. That's we're doing an arpeggio. We're not strumming the A minor 7. Instead, we're going, and that is down, down, up. And really, we're going down on the 5th, down on the 4th, up on the 2nd and 3rd together. Mostly the 2nd, but it's cool if you tag the 3rd string there too. Okay, down, down, up. down, down, up. This pattern will show up in a lot of different songs. So see if you can get comfortable with that. Really, you're going to be sharpshooting a lot of individual strings with your pick. In the middle of strumming big chords, you're going to pick out little melodies and little broken chords like that. So that's what it should sound like. And then we're going to go back to the G. So I should make sure to play all the strings like that. You notice I'm not playing super hard. The reason I'm not playing really hard is because if the whole thing is at a lower dynamic, like under 50%, then you have the ability to emphasize things by playing a little harder. If your baseline volume level on the guitar is really intense, then you can't emphasize anything. Okay, so G, back to the G. When I'm holding this A minor 7 to go back to the G, I make sure that my first finger note, which is on the second string, first fret, this note, I'm making sure that that note stays until the G chord. Listen to this. It doesn't lift off until the right hand goes down. It should glue together right there. So, okay. Now we're going to play what I call the big F. This song goes from G to F, but we don't want this regular F chord that you might be used to playing because it's very wispy and light sounding. Out of all the open chords, the sort of open cowboy chords, F has the least amount of bass. And so what ends up happening is it sounds a little bit thin. And so what I do instead is, get ready for this, I play the big F, which is thumb reaching over and fretting the E string on the first fret. Okay? And then I'm going to have my third and fourth fingers on the fifth and fourth strings, respectively. So we've got this so far, all three of these notes. Then we're going to have an open third string. The second string, first fret, that's this one again. Okay? And that's the whole chord. We're not going to use the high E string. Okay? We're gonna not play it, or we're gonna mute it out. My first finger is actually leaning back slightly to mute it out, and you're gonna get a lot of that muting technique from learning these songs because I'm muting all the time. It's very rare that I'm playing all 6 strings. So that is the big F, but it's not complete until we do this hammer-on. That's our second finger hitting the second fret of the third string, the G string. So it sounds like this. And you may take a while to get that to sound really good. Do it slowly. Don't hang on to it forever. Shake it out of your hand and do it again a million times until it sounds like this. So we're going. Sorry. Right to the big F. And we're really putting most of the pressure in this group of strings here. The sort of 5th, 4th, 3rd area. We want to hear that low bass note, but we don't want to hit it too hard. We just want to, the middle of the chord needs to speak. So I don't know if you can hear that, but to me, that's how it should sound. Now, once we've done that hammer on, we're going to go a little bit of an up and down strum. Okay? And then 2 upstrokes on the 3rd string, open. And a bass note on the G chord. We're going back to G yet again. So you're teaching your right hand to just tag those single strings on their own. That's what makes it sound more intricate and more interesting to the ear, because you've got chords, you've got, 2 notes here, 3 notes there, 1 note all by itself sometimes. Okay? That's what that movement should sound like right there. And then we're going to go to a C chord. But you notice that right before we get to the C chord, there's kind of a ramp of volume right here. You hear that? It's sort of like da-na-na-na-na. It goes to the C chord in a nice sort of build up. Like that. We're going to play the whole C chord. Again, I'm not playing either of the outside strings, and I'm muting them. When I play a C chord, I am overreaching ever so slightly with my 3rd finger to mute the low E. And I'm also touching it with my thumb. So I am double muting the low E. So if I go out there in the world and I hear you guys playing this, don't let me catch you playing a C chord, really ever, with a big old low E string underneath it. Because that sounds crazy, and you don't want to do that, ever. Okay, so C chord has no low E string in it. That should be muted. So we go big F, and now we're in the second half of part 1. Let's play everything up to that point. That's where we are so far. Here's what we're going to do on the C. We're going to strum the C, more single strings. This time we're going to do a hammer-on again, but on the 4th string, and it's going to sound like this. Down, down, up. There's a little hammer-on. See if you can play that. I feel like Mr. Rogers. Can you play that? Sure you can. Okay, that's what happens in the C chord. Some nice little intricate stuff in there as well. Excuse the wind sounds on my garage door. So when this is ringing out, that's ringing out. I can have my hands off the guitar and it's going to ring out. That means while it's ringing, we get ready for our next chord, which is this. 2nd finger, 5th string, 2nd fret. 4th finger, 2nd string, 3rd fret. It is an inversion of G, but it doesn't really look or sound like a G chord. It just sounds like this. It's a nice chord. I use it a lot. So that's sort of like the transition chord. Anytime you're going from C to A minor, you're going to hear that a lot. Or A minor up to C. This is sort of like the walk down chord. And in this song, we're going. So while this is ringing out, you get ready to play. And you notice I'm only playing 1 note, the bass note. And then I'm doing an upstroke on the other strings. Again, muting out both E strings. So E minor is the next chord, but this is a weird E minor because when you're transitioning from this this inversion of G, the most logical fingering of E minor is like this, where you've got your first finger on the fourth string and your second finger on the fifth string. That's a really weird way to finger E minor, but it works killer in this song because you don't have to move your hand hardly at all. You just really nice and smooth because your second finger doesn't actually have to move. So just leave it where it is. Whoops. And the rhythm is down, up, down, up, and I'm separating the low notes from the high notes. Listen to this. Low, high, low, high. Right? So C. One more time. Now we're going to do a D chord, just a regular old D chord. And when I hit a D chord, you guessed it, I'm muting the sixth string right here with my thumb, trying to get rid of it because a D chord doesn't need any of that under it. Now, if you can, get your right hand to focus on the notes that are actually in the chord. So a D chord really only has 4 strings in it. So it's better to adjust your right hand a little bit to emphasize those strings instead of hitting all 6. But whatever the case, I'm muting over here as a backup. So here comes D. That's the rhythm. We're going to use this in another part of the song too. You hear that little silent rhythmic bit here? That little chicka-chow, that comes from releasing pressure on the left hand, but not letting go of the strings entirely. So you let go just enough so that it mutes out. So I'll play that a couple times. You notice that if I avoid the 4th string on this little thing, it sounds better because I'm not twanging the open 4th string. It's better to only hit the strings that are getting muted. It can get really muted if you do it right, like that. You notice my hand is still doing this constant motion thing, right? It's just moving. Okay? Keep that rhythm in mind. We're going to use it a lot. There's one more thing before this part loops or moves on to part 2. It goes like this. This ending figure has something important in it. Couple important things. Number 1, you're going to add your little finger to the D chord, but only for half a second. Here it comes. Hear that? Nice and clear. But then we're going to mute the whole guitar. We're going to release our left hand like we did before, but we're also probably going to clamp down on the strings for half a second. Listen to this. Hear how everything stopped? I'm even letting the pick hit the strings a little bit to get to emphasize it even more. It's like a full stop. Those kind of mutes and stop-start things are part of what makes a guitar sound rhythmic. It's not just open and sort of loose the whole time. You're you're doing a lot of stops and starts and mutes and things like that to give it that nice rhythmic groove. And then it goes right to another G chord. But this G chord, I call it my jangle G or jingle jangle or something like that, because the bass note is my second finger on the low E, and I'm on the 3rd fret, of course, for a G chord, but I'm leaning it back slightly to mute the 5th string. Okay? First finger is not involved. And then you've got both of these. 3rd and 4th finger on the 3rd fret of strings 2 and 1. So this G has this real big open sound. And when you play it after the previous thing that we just learned, that's how it sounds. So I'll play the whole last bar. Played it a couple of times. That makes sense? And that's where it loops. Right there, you've started the pattern over again. And you'll notice that it's not an exact loop because this version of G is different than what we started with. So the first G that we played is only when a whole verse is starting or the song itself is starting. Otherwise, you're going to find that it's this other one. So let's do the loop. I'm going to do it really slow for you guys, and then we'll do it at normal tempo. I highly suggest that when you're learning something intricate, play it really slow. Play it like annoyingly slow at first. And try to get it to the point where it feels almost perfect before you increase the tempo and try and play it. You're going to be tempted to want to play it at the tempo that you're used to hearing it, but don't do that. Do it really slow. So I will try to set a good example by playing it insanely slow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool? Now I'll play at normal speed. 2, 3, 4. And that's the end of part 1. To get ready for part 2, we're going to do this. To E minor. Here's what we're doing. We're taking this D chord and we are releasing the second finger to get a D chord that has an open E string on top of it. That open string. So we're first playing it normal, and then we're gonna go. Okay, that's a little bit advanced because it's a lot of picking. So you might have to do this even slower. So. Whoops. Okay? That's how we get to the E minor. I'm playing that weird E minor again. It can go either way on this. This song just has a strange E minor fingering, but whatever. That's what gets us to our next section, which goes like, Verily he is in himself the knower. That's what we're about to play. So it's going to be E minor, that same rhythm as before. The bouncing with the silent beats in between. What we're doing here is we're going E minor, D, and this is a C and a G, but it's the jangly versions with these two fingers down. So the C looks like this. Second finger, fourth string, second fret. First finger, second finger, fifth string, third fret, okay? But we're doing this on top. And then we're just taking this shape, we're moving down to our bass note. Again, I'm not playing anything on the fifth string for that G chord. So E minor, and then another D, and this. Again, that's the loop right there. So I just noticed something about it. The D chord in the middle of that section. It's down, up, stop. Like that. So I'm showing you guys, like, a lot of those stoppy starties make it sound really good. Let's see. And then the last two are open. That rhythm. Okay? So that is the whole second part. It just loops a couple of times with this thing in the middle of it. So I'm going to show you something about that. Whenever we play this figure, you could go down, up, 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 up to the E minor. Whoops. That would make sense. But the way that I'm playing it, if you're up for this, I'm playing it alternate picked. So I'm going, that's going to be an upstroke, the first one. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, watch real closely on the right. That's the second part. And then we have part 3. Part 3 is this. It's an A minor, which is the same rhythm that we played on the D chord in part 2. The end of part 1. Remember that? With the little chicka-chow. We're doing this now. And whenever I do that, you notice my hand goes a little flat. It lets go and goes flat, just for a second. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but so you can see it. But let go, and you let go. But you don't take your hand off the guitar because you're trying to mute it. So then I'm going to play an A minor 7, but with a G bass note under it. So third finger, third fret down here on the E string. So it goes A minor, And that's really called a C over G, but in this context, let's look at it as A minor over G. And then we're going to do the big F again, but without the hammer on. No hammer on this time. And we're going to do that same rhythm. F. And another G chord. And you should play this very softly. As a matter of fact, you can get somebody to read a whole long prayer over this, and it goes really well. You just sort of use it as background music, and the middle section of the song can be somebody doing a reading over those chords. So that's a nice way to arrange it. We've done that a million times. And when it's over, we play a C chord, regular C chord. Again, muting the low E. And then sometimes I'll do a big stop. Say God, sufficeth, to make a little hole that the vocal fits in. So, C. Now how do I get that nice clean mute? I just play the C chord, I flatten out my left hand a little bit, and that's really it. I'm able to have a C chord kind of in my hand, but I'm not playing it. So we're gonna go, and then it loops. And that's really the whole song. I think we play a C chord at the end of the song. The Omnipotent. And that's the song. And if you want to be fancy for the ending, you can play your C chord a little differently and put a bass note under it. I think I've done that a lot. Yeah, it's kind of nice. So that's the entire guitar part for Say God Sufficeth. I'm going to play through it for you guys one more time with all three sections so you see how they go together and you can try to play along. I'll do it slightly slower than the normal tempo just to make sure that we're hearing all the little details. Listen for tiny little, almost nothing strumming sounds. There's a lot of these tiny little whisper, and I mean they're light. I'm barely touching the guitar when I do them. Listen for those because there's a lot of that kind of is like, it kind of glues the part. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Part 2. Part 3. And that is it. Let me know how that feels. Put something in the comments. Let me, show me, show me how you're doing with it. You know, if you post it anywhere else, or if you're learning it and you're playing it in your community or whatever, feel free to send some links or some footage or whatever, and let us know how you're doing with it. And let's move on to a whole other song now.